بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله أما بعد رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. Welcome guys to another session. بإذن ta'ala, today we're going to continue where we left off in the last session, inshallah. Before we get started though, let's talk a little bit about the homework. Did anybody have any questions regarding the homework? If not, I have a few points I want to mention to you guys, inshallah. So, and this is not specific to any student, so this is the general points that we've noticed. So the most important part is the writing in Arabic and the pronunciation in Arabic. But I just want to make a clarification. So perhaps this was just a slip, but for example, the letter kha, right? Jim ha kha, letter kha with the scratch in our throat, the one with the dot on its head, the one with the dot on top. The letter kha I saw some students write it as ka in English, ka. But if you just put ka, it doesn't indicate that scratch is there. So it ends up, if someone sees it, they could just say ka. But when you put the kh, it helps to indicate that there should be a scratch there. So it should be kha. So just want to pay attention to that. The second point is I believe more than one student, but at least one student skipped some of the long vowels. So you guys want to pay attention to your homework to ensure that whenever you're taking these letters, each letter will be written with each of the short vowels, which are 3, and each letter will be written with the long vowels, which are also 3. So that's each letter will be written 6 times with each of the vowels. So the short vowels, a, e, u, and the long vowels, which are 2 counts, right, which are double the length of the basic accent, which are the short vowels. So those would be a, e, u. So you guys want to pay attention to that as well, bismillah ta'ala. So today what we're going to do is we're also going to take a few more letters. We're going to take 4 letters today in particular, which we'll speak about. And as usual, we'll take the way that it should be written, the way that it should be pronounced as well. And we'll take it with those 6 vowels, the 3 short vowels and the 3 long vowels, bismillah ta'ala. In addition to that, what I want us to start getting used to as well, which we're going to start today for the letters that we've covered thus far, is I want us to get used to the way the letters would be written in the beginning, or rather by itself, which we were taking in the beginning, the middle, and the end, which we indicated towards in the last session. We told you guys what page that's on. We told you guys what page that's on. We told you guys what page that's on. So, and some of you guys do have the book, or if not, you have the PDF to refer to. So let's start with that today, inshallah. Let's start with the letters that we've taken thus far, and let's start with the way that they will be written in their different positions. Okay. So let me share the screen with you guys, inshallah. Page 25. Jazakallah khair, sister. It's on page 25, guys. Jazakallah khair. You see me clearly? I was having some connection issues in the beginning.
Yes.
Okay, alhamdulillah. Great. So if you see on, excuse me, if you see on this page here, Sister Melissa mentioned on page 25, we have these letters here in 5 different columns. We have the beginning, the middle, the end, joined, and then by itself, right? So they gave you 5 different ways to show you different scenarios. The beginning, the middle, end, and then after they showed you that, they showed you how would it look joined and how would it look by itself. Now, if we take a look here now, you see that certain letters, they have an asterisk next to it. They have an asterisk next to it. If you scroll down as well, you'll see also we have other letters with the asterisk, such as that letter, that letter, that letter, that letter. That is going to make more sense to you guys once we've taken all the letters. I'm going to mention to you guys, and I think I hinted towards it in the last class as well. There's certain letters that don't connect to that which comes after them. So rather, as you know, Arabic is written from right to left, which means they do not connect to anything that comes after them. So they do not connect to anything to the left of it. And I believe I mentioned that in the last class. And that is why you would see that, excuse me, for example, this alif that we have here, which we've taken so far. And I mentioned last time the difference between alif and hamza, guys, right? So I want you guys to keep that in mind. The alif, when it comes in the beginning, it looks exactly the same way that it would when it's written by itself, because it does not allow anything to connect to the left of it. And the same in the middle, it ends right there, and the end. That's why the middle and the end looks the same, because what comes after it cannot connect to it, right? It's from those letters that do not connect, which they are 7 letters, right? 7 letters that don't connect to that which come after them, meaning they don't connect to that which comes to the left of them, which we'll take in detail, but just I wanted to indicate that towards you guys in case you guys were wondering why is there an asterisk next to certain letters. So also the letter ba, you see, the letter ba, it's written in a manner that something can come after it. And that's why it has this protrusion before it when it's written in the middle and in the end, because it's showing that it will be connected to something that comes before it, right? And by itself, you guys already have learned that from the beginning. Now, like I said, I want you guys to get very familiar with this. There's nothing for us to really practice here, but rather this is for you guys to get used to it. So the letters are in order the same way that it comes in the alphabet. So far we've taken all the way from alif to kha, and we also taken hamza because of the discrepancy between alif and hamza. But we have taken these letters up to kha so far, from here to here, thus far, and these are the way that it's going to be written. And every week you want to keep reviewing this and adding the letters that we've, and rather learning the letters that we've taken that week. I'll just mention another point here regarding the letter ta. So if you notice that the letter ta, when it's written at the end, it's changed, right? It looks like this, right? And some of you may have heard the terminology at-ta'ul marbuta, right? Which just means a closed ta, a closed ta. Now, if it, excuse me, if it's connected to what comes before it, meaning the letter that comes before it is connected to it, then it's written like this, like we have here. And if the letter that comes before it is not connected to it, for example, it's one of those letters that do not allow something to be connected to it, then it's written like this at the end. And that is why this 2F starts is there, to bring your attention to it, to bring your attention to that. So that's something to keep in mind as well. And what I want you guys to do before we forget, for your homework, in addition to in addition to writing the letters with their vowels like we've been doing, I want you guys to also write these. I'm not going to say 20 times, but it's quite a bit to do this. But I want you guys to write each of these. So, for example, you'll write this 5 times. You'll write this 5 times. Each letter that we've taken thus far, I want you guys, in all these columns, I want you guys to write each one of those 5 times. 5 times. So if you guys,
wait, which ones exactly?
all of these columns. So these 5 columns. But I want
Okay,
so every column, but for all the letters that you've taken thus far. So far, like I said, we've taken up to kha, and today we're going to take 4 more letters, right? So just for this time, it's going to be extra because we haven't done it from the beginning. But after this, it'll only be the letters that you take for that lesson. So for today's homework, it would be all the way up to the letter zai, right, which ends here, and from the next time, then it'll only be the letters that you took. So for this week's homework would be, in addition to writing the new letters that we've taken today, which are 4 letters that we're going to take these 4 letters today. In addition to writing those letters with those 6 vowels, the 3 short vowels and the 3 long vowels, you're also going to come and write this 5 times, right? Because remember, that's written 20 times, and this is going to be written 5 times. Okay, is that clear, everyone? You guys hear me?
Clear, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Jazakumullahu khairan. Okay, let's go ahead and get started with today's lesson, the new letters. 4 letters again, which they look similar. So remember we had ta, ba, ta, tha. They look similar. The difference between them was placement of dots and number of dots. Then we took jim, ha, kha, which also they look very similar. The difference between them is placement of dots and number of dots. Now today we're going to take 4 letters which are also similar to each other. The difference between them is the same thing, placement and number of dots. So we'll start off with the letter dal, dal. And this letter is pronounced as dal, dal, right? Not dal, but dal, dal. And as you can see, as usual, they showed you how to start it, right? So this is a 2-step letter. This is a 2-step letter. And like I said, this is a very good reference to learn how to write it. So just follow this, inshallah. So if you write that 3 times for me, guys, as while I'm changing the screens, just for practice right now, follow that 2-step. And like I said, this letter's name is dal, which is gonna and not dal, right? So this is gonna help you towards the sound. The sound is not da, but da, da. So let's take this letter now with its vowels. Let's take this letter with the vowels. Or rather, not just yet, but when we take the 4 letters, we'll take them together. So like I said, this letter, its name is dal and not dal, right? So pay attention. Some students say dal, but it's dal with a, not a with a sound. And same thing, this will affect the sound. So it's not going to be da, but it's going to be da, da. Now the next letter, which is the letter dal, which comes right after it, right, in the alphabet, it looks exactly the same way. It's just going to have one more step. And that step is going to be adding this dot on top. So the first 2 steps are the same. And the last step is going to be the placement of this dot. The placement of this dot. Now the pronunciation of this, as you see, has a D-H, right? And it can be written different ways in English, but I'm going to tell you guys how it should be pronounced. I'm going to show you guys and give you guys the right way to pronounce it. The first point is to know that it comes from the tip of your tongue, placed at the bottom edge of your top 2 front teeth. You're going to place some pressure on the tip of your tongue to achieve the correct sound, and you're going to keep your tongue flat. Don't curve the sides of your tongue, and don't elevate the rear of your tongue. Rather, keep it flat. Place pressure, so it's gonna zal, zal, and not zal, not za, like a z sound, but that. That's why you're placing the tip of your tongue at the bottom edge of your top 2 front teeth, and you're placing pressure on it. Zal, zal, zal. Now, I want to practice this just a little bit because some students typically have some issue with this. So let's go one by one. So when I call upon you, please unmute yourself, pronounce the letter slowly, and then mute yourself once again. Brother Adam, please.
Dal.
One more time, please.
Dal.
Perfect. Jazakallah khairah. Brother Hussein.
Val.
Yeah, very nice. Brother Markenzie, please.
Dal.
So it's how it starts with that. Place some pressure. Val.
Dal.
There you go.
Dal.
Ahsanta. Very good job. Jazakallah khairah. Sister Nelissa, please.
Thal.
One more time.
Thal.
That. Very good. There you go. Jazakallah khairah. Ahsanti. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Shadi.
Dal.
That. Very good. I just want you to pay attention to this. So I don't want you to have this so not the, but the. Try not to open the mouth really big with the fatha or with the sound, but a medium-sized opening. When we tend to open our mouth, it tends to sound but not but So that versus that. Did you hear the difference?
Dal.
Not the, but that. Try it one more time.
Dal.
There you go. Santa. And lastly, Brother Sharif, please.
Val.
That. Santa. Very good job. Jazakumullah khair. Very good job, guys. Remember, tip of the tongue placed at the bottom edge of your top 2 front teeth, and you're going to place pressure. You're going to place pressure on the tip of your tongue to achieve that correct sound. Keep your tongue flat, and don't elevate the rear of your tongue or curve the side of your tongue, which is going to make it sound as an aw sound, but rather it'll be Very good job, guys. So like I said, these two letters, they look very similar. The difference between them is one is free of dots, which is letter dal, and letter dal has a single dot on top. But they're written the exact same way. The difference is just the placement of the dot. Placement of the dot. Now we have these two letters here. They also look similar. Take them one by one. So we have the letter ra, ra. And notice I'm not saying ra or raw, right? So this is going to have a specific pronunciation. There's two things. Students typically sometimes pronounce it as an a sound, ra, ra, or they tend to pronounce it as letter R in English, raw, raw, raw. But rather, it's going to be an ah sound, like a ah, not a, but ah. And in addition to that, it's going to come from a specific place, not from the same articulation point as the letter R in English. So it's not going to sound raw, but rather it's going to sound raw, raw. So it comes from the tip of our tongue, placed at the roots, or rather placed behind the roots. So not at the origin, not at the roots of your top two front teeth, but behind that, right? So not at the roots, but behind the roots. The tip of your tongue is going to be placed there. You're going to curve the sides of your tongue towards the roof of your mouth, and you're going to drop your jaw raw, raw, to get that raw, raw. Now let's practice this one as well. So let me open the list again. And like I said, please unmute yourself when I call upon you. And then once you finish, please mute yourself again. Jazakumullahu khairah. Go ahead, Brother Adam.
Ra.
Isn't that raw, raw, raw? So try to have more like a awesome, more of a rounded sound, but don't owe your lips. The roundness or the heavy sound is going to come from curving the sides of your tongue, like curving the sides.
Ra.
Of your tongue. There you go. Raw, raw, much
Ra.
better. Very good. Ahsanta. Brother Hussein.
Raw.
Much better. Very good. Brother Markenzie.
Raw. Raw.
Very good. Ahsanta. Ahsanta. That's in Alyssa.
Raw.
Okay, so that sounds more. So I want to make sure that we're not pronouncing it as a R. It's not raw, not raw, like R-A-W, raw. No, but rather raw, raw. Do you hear the difference?
Raw.
There you
Raw.
go. There you go. Ahsanti. Very good. Brother Shadi.
Raw.
Ahsanta. And lastly, Brother Sharif, please.
Raw.
Ahsanta. Ahsanta. Very good job. Allahu barak. I see you have your child learning along with you as well. Alhamdulillah. Barakallahu feekum. And lastly, we're going to take this letter today, which is written the same as the letter ra. The difference is that it has a single dot placed on top of it. Now, I want you guys to pay attention. Students typically tend to make sometimes they mix the two letters up. Between this letter that we're going to take right now and between the letter zal, right? So zal and za, right? Now, this letter is written the same as ra, but it has a single dot on top of it. So this is a simple mistake here. What they put here is not the name of the letter, but rather this is the sound of the letter. So I'm gonna put the correct name for you guys here now. In Arabic, it's written like this. In English, it's going to be written like, it could be written both ways, but I'll tell you guys the sound. The sound is what's most important, especially in English. The spelling is not important, but to an extent. So it's going to be zai, zai. The name of this letter is zai. I know some of you may perhaps have learned before zain on other names, but there are a few ways that it can be said. But the most common is going to be zai, zai. This letter can be written a number of ways, or not written. Sorry, its name has a number of different. It has a number of different names, but the most common is going to be zai, zai, written like this in Arabic and written like this in English. But the main thing is the pronunciation of the name, and it's going to be zai, zai. As for the sound that it's going to make, then, like I said, typically students tend to sometimes mix it up with the letter That, which is that. Rather, this is not going to come from by placing the tip of your tongue at the bottom edge of your top two front teeth, but rather it comes from placing the tip of your tongue behind your teeth. So it's going to be za, 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 za. Za versus the. So this is going to be za in sound, zai in name. Zai in name. Let's just practice this one as well. Brother Adam.
What was the letter again, brother?
Yeah, sorry. I'll write it for you. Zai or written like Z-A-Y. Zai.
They.
So not that, but za.
They.
So try not to put the z. Hear the difference? Not z, but z.
Yeah, I do.
Zai.
They.
There you go. One more time.
They.
One more time.
They.
No, you're going back to the, not that, but zai, like a bee that's buzzing. Zai.
They.
Okay, so we'll work on that inshallah, because you're still saying
Inshallah.
that, but zai. Brother Hussein.
Zai.
Brother Mackenzie.
Zai.
Very good. Sister Melissa.
Zai.
Zai. Ahsanti. Brother Shadi.
Zai.
Not za, but zai.
Zai.
Ahsanta. And lastly, Brother Sharif.
Zai.
Ahsanta. Very good job. Jazakumullah khair to all of you. Very good job, all of you guys. So a few points to remember. We said these letters look similar. So dal and that look similar. Differences, differences the placement of dot and number of dots. Dal is free of dots. Dal has a single dot on top. Dal is pronounced by placing the tip of your tongue, placing pressure on the tip of your tongue by placing it at the bottom edge of your top two front teeth. Dal, which is also going to help you to achieve that correct pronunciation with the vowels. The letter ra and zai, they're written the similar way. Ra is free of dots. The letter ra is free of dots, and the letter zai has a single dot. We mentioned that typically students tend to mix the sounds of zai and thal together, but the letter thal is thal, and the letter zai is like a bee that's buzzing. Zai. Very good. So let's take a look now at this letter with the vowels, or these letters rather, not this letter, but these letters with their vowels. Who can remind me how many short vowels we have and what are they? Anyone?
We have 3.
3. Very good. And what are they, guys?
A, E, U.
Very good job. Ahsantum. Very good job. Does anybody know the name of these 3?
Fatha, Kesra, Dhamma.
Ahsant. Very good job. Ahsanti. Fatha, Kesra, Dhamma. A, E, U, respectively. Very good job. So what's between these brackets is what we're taking today, what we're taking right now. We'll start with Brother Adam, please.
Could you go over which one again? Sorry.
Sure. Yeah. So the first one right after the bracket, which is let's break it down together. What letter is this?
I'm not quite sure.
Okay, so it's the letter that is the first letter we took today, and it's free of dots, right? So it's going to be dal. The name of the letter is dal, and the sound this one's going to make, guys, is da. Try that, brother. Da.
Da.
Very good. Da.
Then the letter itself is dal.
Dal. Ahsanta. Very good job. So what I want you guys to do is the same thing. Everyone else after, I want you guys to say the name of the letter that you're going to pronounce and then say the sound. Okay? Brother, the next one, please, Brother Hussein.
Val.
Mhm. And then
Za.
the.
Za.
No, that's
Za.
that's za, but the same sound is going to hit that same pressure, but without having the L at the end. It'll be the.
Da.
Ahsanta. Very good. Next one, please, Brother Mackenzie.
Ra. Ra.
Mhm. Ahsanta. Very good. And the last one, Sister Melissa.
Zai.
Mm-hmm. And the sound.
Z-
I think you muted yourself mistakenly.
Za.
Za. Very good. Ahsanti. Let's move on to the next vowel, inshallah, which is going to be this sound here now. Brother Shadi, please, the first one after the bracket.
D.
Very good. Brother Sharif, please, the next one.
V.
The. Very good. Brother Adam, the third one. Perhaps he's unable to hear us. Brother Adam, the third one, please.
Could you circle the third one again?
Sure. Let's break it down. What letter is that?
Ri.
Very good. So the letter is ra, and the sound is, like you said, ri. Very good. Brother Hussein, the last one, please.
Z.
Z. Ahsanta. Z. Very good. Scroll down again to the next vowel, which is the last of the short vowels, making the oo sound.
Wait, so a question quickly. So you want us to pronounce the sounds first, then the letter?
No, either way, but I prefer you to say the name of the letter so we make sure that we recognize the letter first, what letter it is, the name, and then the sound of the letter. So, for example, I'll do this first one. This one is dal. The name of this letter is dal, and the sound that it makes is do. Name is dal, and the sound is do. So let's stick to that, guys, inshallah. Right? So say the name of the letter, so we make sure that we recognize it, and then we take, and then we say, and then we bring the sound, inshallah. Jazakumullahu khairan. I believe the last one that was Brother Hussein, so which means it's Brother Mackenzie. Brother Mackenzie, first one, please.
The first one, Dal and Do.
Do. Very good. Sister Melissa, next one.
Letter. Thou. Thou. Pronunciation. Zu.
Zu. Very good. Ahsanti. Brother Shadi.
Yes. What letter is it again?
The third one after the bracket.
Ru.
And what's the name of this letter?
Ra.
Ra. Ahsanta. Brother Sharif, the last one, please.
The name of the letter is Zai.
Very good.
The sound is Zu.
Zu. Ahsanta. Very good job. So now we're going to take these letters, these four letters with the long vowel. Now, I want you guys to pay attention to this. So far, excuse me, we've taken from the letters that don't connect, which I'll show you guys now since we've taken a number of them. We've taken a total of 5 of these letters so far, right? 5 of these letters so far. So we just have one more to take. So we'll just I'll introduce them to you guys right now. And when we get there, it'll make more sense because this is going to make sense to you with the long vowel. If you go back to, I'll go back, sorry. If you go down to Page 27. Page 27. So they call it here the naughty letters. There's a number of different names for them. The main point is to understand that these letters do not connect to that which comes after them. They do not connect to that which comes after them. And these letters are alif, dal, dhal, ra, zai, and the letter wow. And sometimes we're gonna add to this one because they put 6 here, but in reality it can be up to 7. It can be up to 7. And the reason being is because sometimes the letter hamza, when it's written by itself, is in conjunction with it because it does not connect to anything that comes after it. And you guys are going to learn more about this. That letter hamza, sometimes it sits by itself, does not always sit on the table. As we learned, it's going to sit a majority of the time. It's going to sit on a table, whether it's on the alif, whether it's sitting on a wow, or whether it's sitting on a ya. But sometimes it's going to be sitting by itself. And I'll show you guys an example right now. I mean, this is over your head. No worries, don't worry about it. It'll come in, you'll see it more and more as we go along in this level and other levels, inshallah. So sometimes you'll see this word written like this, specifically in the Mus'haf. Quran, right? But we learned that in typical writing, we said that when you have the hamza followed by an alif, the long vowel, it ends up being written like this. But I want you guys to know this because you guys are going to see it in the Mus'haf, where the Mus'haf is the Quran that we read. But remember we said that when it comes to hamza and alif together, written like this, right? But in the Mus'haf has its own separate rule that I just want to introduce you guys to, just so you can, when you see it, is you just had some type of introduction to it. But in the Mus'haf, it's written like that. It's hamza and then alif. Quran. Very good. So the letters that we've taken thus far, though, are these, and just one more. So that's what I want to mention to you guys. And that's why you're going to see with the long vowel that none of these letters will be connected to what came after. The dal, the dhal, the ra, and the zai will not be connected to the alif for that long vowel, will not be connected to the ya, and will not be connected to the wow. Will not be connected to the wow. Okay, is that clear, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. So let's take these with the long vowels now, inshallah. We said the long vowels are 3, right? As you guys mentioned in the beginning, they are a, e, u. It's 2 counts. When we say count, we say that the what it's referencing to or what is measured against is the basic accent, the short vowel. So the fatha, a, the kisra, e, the dhamma, u, right? So a, e, u. Each one of those is considered one count. And the 2 counts, which means double that. So the fatha followed by an alif, the kasra followed by a ya, the wow the dhamma followed by a wow. Which most of you guys are used to already, which we've been seeing. But let's take it again here now with these 4 letters, just for more practice. So if you guys can start this, please. Who was the last? Which one of you guys read last? Was that Brother Sharif? Was that you?
Me.
Alif.
Who was the last one that went?
Oh, it's me.
Oh, it's you, Brother
Thanks.
Hussein. Okay, Brother Hussein. Okay. So it's now going to be Brother Markenzie, please. The first letter after the bracket.
One moment.
I'll start.
Da.
There you go. Da, very good. Elongated sound. Very good. Sister Melissa, the next one, please.
The,
أحسنتي. Brother Shadi.
Will be raw or
No, so it'll be the first one. It'll be raw, raw with the
raw.
Raw. Very good. So the letter raw has a not a sound to it, but an ah. So it'll be raw, raw. Just like you said the first time. Raw and not ra, but raw, raw.
Raw.
Ahsanta. Very good job. And lastly, brother Sharif, please.
Za.
So try not to have a not but z, not sa but za.
Yes, sir. Za.
Ahsanta. Very good. Barakallahu feek. You guys are doing really well, alhamdulillah. Progressing really fast as well, alhamdulillah. Very good. And if you notice, like I said, they're not connected, right, to what came after, because they're from those letters that don't connect to that which comes after, meaning to the left of it. So you guys would want to memorize those letters as well. Brother Adam, please, the first one after the bracket.
Could you circle it, please? So the first one is a dal, then it's a kasra d.
Yeah,
So
so
am I
do-
supposed? So
what
am
is-
I supposed to say the sound it makes?
Yeah, so you said it's a dal, very good, the name, very good, and you said it has a kesra, e, but it also has something associated with it, right? Which is the yeah, which turns it into what?
Yeah.
No, we'll turn it into a long vowel, right? So not yeah, but e. So it becomes, when you put the letter, it'll become
D.
D. Ahsanta, very good. Brother Hussein, the next one, please.
Next one is thou. So it's going to be the.
Very good. The, very good. Brother Mackenzie, please.
Next one is re.
So try not to have re. I want you to hear the difference. So there's not re, which is letter R, but rather re. Do you hear the difference between that?
The.
There you go. Re. Ahsanta. Just in the list of the last one, please.
Z.
Z. Very good. Ahsanti. Just remember to mute yourself, guys, after you've completed. Jazakumullahu khairah. And we'll take lastly, we're going to take is the last of the long vowel that we've learned today, or we've been learning, but the last of the long vowels with the letters that we learned today, rather. Brother Shadi, please, the first one after the bracket.
Do.
One more time.
Do.
Okay, great. I'm not saying it sounded do, but it didn't sound do, or it'd be do, as it was in between those. So be do. There you go. Ahsanta. Brother Sharif, the next one, please.
Dhu.
Perfect. Very good. Brother Adam, the third one, please.
Which one's the third one again?
The one I circled for you.
Are
you guys seeing the circle?
Yeah, I am. I'm just having trouble making out which one that is.
Okay, so let's break it down. So what's the first letter in that setup?
Dal.
Okay, so not dal, because you notice it's a bit more elongated, right? So this one is dal, right? But that one's a bit more elongated, which is the third letter we took today, which is the letter, and free of dots, which is going to be the letter.
I'm not really good at memorizing them. They look the same.
Okay, so if you notice, this is like a backward C.
Right.
And this one, if you notice, it's longer, right? It's
towards the bottom.
Correct. So this is going to be the letter ra. This is the letter ra, and it has the dhamma, the u sound, and also associated with that is the wow. So it becomes a long vowel. Ooh. So when you put it together with the letter ra, what would it become?
we add those two together, is what you're saying?
Correct. And it becomes ooh, which is what making that ooh sound.
Oh,
So
I
ends up.
understand.
So what would that become?
Ru,
Ru, ru, a bit more longer. Ru.
ru.
Very good. Ahsanta. And last one, brother, Hussein.
Zoo.
Zoo. A bit
Zoo.
longer, a bit long. So try not to have that. You have this slight su sound to seen, which is very common for students. But it's more of a buzzing sound. Zoo, zoo.
Zoo.
There you go. Very good. And you're gonna learn soon that the sin and the zai, they come basically from the same place. That's why sometimes they tend to sound similar. But zoo and not su. Zoo. Very good job.
Zoo.
So brief recap for today. We took these 4 letters. Dal, Zal, Ra, Zai. These are the names of these 4 letters. The Dal and Zal look like backwards C's. The difference between them is that the Dal is free of dots and the Zal has a single dot. Regarding pronunciation, both going to have the A sound, not no A, but A. Dal, Zal. All of you guys pronounce Dal perfectly and Zal for the majority, for the most part, but I want to just clarify for you guys. Tip of the tongue, place pressure on the tip of your tongue. Zal, Zal. Great. Letter Ra and Zai. They both look similar once again. The difference being is Ra is free of dots and letter Zai has a single dot. Ra, we said, does not come from the same place as R in English, and it's going to be an A sound. So Ra, Ra. As for Zai, letter Zai, it has more of a buzzing sound, like a beat. Zzz, zoo, zoo, like we have here. But the name of this letter is Zai, Zai. We also mentioned today, and I want you guys to get used to the way that the letters are written. So page 25. Let's go back to page 25. Page 25, which in the PDF, guys, is page 26, but in reality, in the book, it's page 25, the 25th page. I wanted you guys to start getting used to the way the letters are written in the beginning, the middle, the end, the way when they're joined, and the letters by itself. We mentioned some homework regarding that. In addition to that, we mentioned to you guys why do certain letters have this asterisk, a single asterisk next to it, and that is because we said it's from those letters that don't connect to that which comes after it. They don't join to that which comes after. They do not join to anything that comes to the left of it. Right? And we also mentioned if a letter that comes before the ta, which is this ta, right? In the end, it's written like this. But that's how it's written if it's connected to what comes before it. But if the letter that comes before it is from those letters that don't connect to that which comes after it, then it's written like this. It's written as a closed ta. When we mean closed and open, this is going to be an open ta, and this is called a closed ta. Okay, that's just what we mean by that. Open and closed. And you might hear this terminology, atal marbuta, which is a closed ta. A closed ta. Any questions, guys, regarding what the homework should be? Any questions regarding what we've learned thus far, or anything that we're going to learn? And have you guys been seeing the videos on YouTube? So if you guys ever want to reference it, they are recorded and they are uploaded on the YouTube page. So you can always just refer back to it for something maybe you forgot. You could just go back to there and add it to your notes. Inshallah, what you guys should be take notes, right? I don't expect you guys to remember everything. The way to preserve the knowledge is by documenting it, right? You preserve it by having a proper understanding of it right now, and then you also document it. For example, years down the road, you want to teach this, or you just want to review what you've learned. You understand the concept fully, but you just need to review it. When you document it, you're able to refer back to it and look at it. So, for example, you should document how to pronounce the letter, where it comes from. Those points that I mentioned to you, document it, write it down, and it also help it to stick in your head better. So, like I said, you can find the videos uploaded weekly on the YouTube channel. Any question, guys, before we end today?
I wanted to. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, with today's homework, we have to do the 5 words, 20 each.
No, so the 4 letters, the dal, the zal, the ra, the 4 letters, 20 times each with each of the vowels, right? So the a, the e, the u, the short vowels, and the long vowels a, e, u. So that's going to be something that we're going to be doing until we complete the alphabet. So for every
Okay.
letter that we take from now on, from the beginning until the end, every letter that we take, you're gonna write it with those 6 vowels 20 times. But in addition to that, for today's class, you're going to write every letter that we've taken thus far from this page 25. So alif to zai, you're going to write that 5 times. So the beginning, the middle, the end, the join, and by itself. Okay, just the way they have it here in this setup, right? The same way, but write it 5 times, right, to help you to get practice in the writing of it. But after that, from each lesson moving forward after today, you're only going to write the letter that we learned. So if next time we take 2 letters or 3, whatever the case may be, you're just only going to write those letters. Make sense, Brother Hussein?
Makes sense.
Perfect. Brother Adam, go ahead with your question, inshallah.
Oh, I was going to ask you just a one-on-one question after when we were done with the class, if you don't mind.
Oh yeah, okay, inshallah. Let me end, inshallah. When everybody leaves, inshallah. We'll end the recording and then you can ask your question, bismillahi ta'ala. Anybody else has any more questions before we end today's session? Anything regarding homework, anything regarding what we've learned, or just general questions in general regarding program or anything, or access? Great. I appreciate you guys sending the homework in advance. It's very good. Continue, guys, sending it at least a day before, so we're able to review it. That's the only way that we'll be able to bring out those technical points. If you send it 10 minutes, an hour before class, it's actually a bit difficult to get to right then. So you want to try your best to at least send it the day before class, so we're able to review it, we're able to look at it, and bring out some points to benefit all of you guys, inshallah. Jazakumullahu khaira. See you guys next week, inshallah. Wa sallallahu wa sallam ala nabina Muhammad. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله